Welcome back, and our second segment, as earlier said in our intro, it's about organization that have been in social work for over more than 30 years now, giving services to millions of children all over the government, their families and women in rural areas and everywhere. And lately they have been launching a campaign, a new initiative under the name Teach a Girl, Change Egypt, which is very important one, and is going to affect a lot of change in rural areas and governorates, and especially in the sectors where illiteracy is widespread. We're very delighted to have with us Nashwa Habib, Gender Equality Advisor, and Mona Hussein, Communication Specialist. Good morning, girls.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, I would like first, I know that we have talked before about this very active organization, but I want you to remind our viewers with Plan Egypt.
Okay, good morning, and thank you for having us today. As for Plan is an international organization that was founded more than 76 years ago. It has been working in Egypt for more than 30 years now. Our goal is to promote child rights and to create a world where all children can enjoy their full potential in a world that respects their rights and dignity. So we have been working in Egypt for more than 30 years, as I said, since 1981. We have been working in different governorates. Now we work in 7 governorates in Kalubaya, Cairo, Giza, Bahira, Asyut, Suhaig, and yes, there are 7 governorates. Yes, and we work in partnership with the government and with private sectors, and we implement different programs, including 4 core programs now: one for girls and women empowerment, the second one for youth development and leadership, third one for building the capacity of civil society organizations, and the fourth one for promoting child protection and participation.
That's perfect. Okay, Nashwa, I would like to talk about the recent initiative, Teach a Girl, Change Egypt. Actually, I like this sentence so much, because simply when you start, as you said before, by the girl and the women here in Egypt, you change everything. So tell me more about this initiative.
The initiative that we are now promoting, girls' education, is part of a global initiative, which is Because I'm a Girl. Because I'm a Girl is a campaign that was initiated by Plan International, with the UN bodies, to promote girls' education and to reduce all the barriers that girls are facing, like, early marriage and all harmful traditional practices that are facing girls. Also reduce all the barriers, social barriers, the barriers that can face girls in the streets, in the schools, harassment, different barriers. And the other side, build the girls' capacities, invest more in building the assets of the girls, where it's her capacity, her skills, social skills, education, being well prepared for the labor market, and other skills. So every year we focus on a certain a certain issue regarding girls' education. This year,
we're watching right now some pictures of.
This year, mainly, we're focusing on 10 days to invest in girls' education. So we felt like it's really matching our need today in Egypt, where we said that educate a girl, change Egypt, and how this could happen, because I believe that education is the most important thing for this nation, for this country.
The basic.
It's the basic. It's where we stand for changing everything. We change the mentality of the people, we change their social status, we change their economic status, and all the research are saying if you increase the education or you invest in girls' education, you can increase even the economic situation. You can improve the economic situation of your country.
But Nashwa, what is the reaction of people, for example, in the countryside or people in the rural areas, when you talk to them about educating their daughters? What is the reaction? Did they change? The minds of the people, did it change?
To be honest with you, it's in rural area, because of the poverty. There is you know, a lot of concerns about education. Education is not anymore for free. Education, it costs the family a lot. So sometimes it's not the priority of the family to send the girls to the school.
Just because of the money?
Because of the money and because of the lack of interest to teach a girl. Because they see from their perspective, you teach a girl and at the end this girl will go and marry. And so that you invest on girls, so you invest on her, but all this investment doesn't go back to you. So this is, still people are thinking like this. Not in everywhere, but also there is people who are sending their girls to the schools, but in return the quality of the education, and the schools are quite far from where the girls are living. So it's also costly, and it's not only costly by money, but it's costly by, you know, like they feel like it's difficult for them to go to the school. It's maybe risky. It's unsafe. They walk on you know, they walk for a long time, like 2 kilos to reach the school. All this, the accessibility of the quality of education is one of the concerns. I mean for boys and girls, but it's more affecting girls than boys, especially in rural areas.
Okay. Right. Mona Hussein, you are the communication department officer and you are in charge of organizing how people, how your organization is reaching to the people in rural areas with all the wrong awareness that is implemented for years, have been implemented for years in the minds of the families of the girls, that you are looking forward to effect some change. So what do you do on your part to be able to facilitate that also and be able to effect some change on the minds of the parents, not only the girls, because it's important to change the ideologies of families in order to be able to try to help their kids?
Thank you for this question. It's a really interesting question and very important one. First, I'd like to highlight that we in PLAN, we work as one team. So even the communication unit work hand in hand with the program unit and with all other units in PLAN. So we work closely with the program staff in order to tailor messages that can affect people and can help changing their mindsets and also the way they perceive girls' education and girls' rights. So through the different program interventions, as I said before, PLAN aims to target the family as one unit, because you cannot change anything without when you are excluding any of the family member. Because, for example, if the mother strongly believes that educating her daughter is important, maybe there is a social pressure on her that sees an educated girl as an empowered woman in the future. So maybe her opportunities to get married will decrease. So we try to involve the whole family in different program interventions that address many of their needs, like the economic ones. For example, we have an interesting program called Saving Groups or Village Saving and Loan Associations, which we implement in partnership with one of the banks in Egypt. So that program aims to promote women economic empowerment. And through that program, a key component of it is awareness raising. So we try to talk to mothers about, for example, the value of educating their daughters, and we try to highlight how it will positively affect the whole family. At the same time, we target boys since a very early age, because the process of change has to start early. So if you make a young boy believe that a girl has equal rights like him, so you will find that he is one of the advocates for her rights. So we also involve boys and men in different program interventions. Like one of the program is parenting education, which helps people to gain knowledge, important information about how to bring up their children, child rights, and how to communicate effectively with their children. And through that, they also get valuable information about the child rights.
So talking about the organization, I like that you are targeting, as you said, the whole family, the boy, the girl, everyone in the family. I want to talk more about this organization, which has been working, as we said in the beginning, for more than 30 years now, and the development, talking about the development of the initiatives, the development even in the Egyptian culture or people's mind. How do you feel this progress? Starting with you first, Nashwa.
I think the organization has been, it's part of Egypt. So 30 years ago, it was more like providing services direct services to the, to the target groups. And we called them at that time beneficiaries. And we were more into, supporting the most needed people with food, helping them to build their houses, and so on. By the time the way changing and what we call it the development approach. So the development came to the point, went through different levels, different let's say categories and levels, starting with working with the people to change the reality, looking at more like looking to rights. So and we are now in the process of our programs is what we call it rights-based approach. Our rights-based approach is more focusing on empowering people, letting people understand their needs. We're not going anymore, not only their needs, but their rights. Working on changing women and girls and boys, not only their status right now, but their position on the community. Where it's not anymore about giving services or connecting them to the services, but more like empowering them, letting them understand what they really need to do to change their lives. It's not anymore our responsibility. We are responsible for building their capacity. I give you an example. We have a new program for girls, what we call it Safe Inclusive Cities for Girls. It's focusing on Cairo, focusing on girls in the big city, Cairo, supporting how we make the city more inclusive for girls. So we are not more into providing services. We are more into involving girls in the whole issue of the urban planning of the city, involving girls on evaluating the services in the city, supporting girls to have more access to safe areas, talking to them and empowering them and building their capacity to evaluate and to report back when there is issues like harassment, like criminal on the streets. So you are building their capacity and supporting them to understand the rights and to act. And at the same time, you work with the duty bearers, or they call it the government, to sensitize them to the needs of this category, the young girls from 9 to 18, how you build how you construct your transportation system, how you even the streets, how it is sensitive to girls or not. So this is how we change from providing services to right-based approach.
Right. Unfortunately, we have very little time left, and there is another important issue that I would like to get out of you, girls, which is the challenges that might come in the way of your precious efforts. For you, for example, Mona Hussein, there must be some challenges meeting you while you try to effect your valuable plans, like the early marriages or the ideology of the parents who, on their hands, make their kids subject to child labor, for example, and they would prefer it to education. So they would deny your chances giving them education and then direct them to the child labor. So how do you try to deal with those challenges?
First, as Nasha was saying, and as we have already highlighted, that we target the family as one unit, and we try to invest a lot in empowering them to take decisions that are good for them and for their children. So most of the time, the biggest challenge has to do with the deeply rooted traditions that make people believe that, for example, marrying off a girl at early age means that she is a good girl and it's good for her future, or it's better for her future. And also another challenge has to do with the root causes of the issue we are addressing. anything. For example, talking about child labor, maybe we have listened a lot to many mothers. They said we have no other option. We are very poor, and the child is the only person who can work to support our family. So what we try to do is we try to analyze the whole situation and to try to come up with them with solutions to address their own issues. For example, speaking about the child labor, we have a program that aims to progressively eliminate the child labor. We implement it mainly in Cairo South area and Cairo East area because they have the highest rate of working children. So in that program, we try to gradually make children leave their job by providing them first with safer job, moving them from jobs that are harmful to their health, and providing them with an opportunity to work in a better job that is not harming their health. At the same time, providing them with non-formal education. At the same time, we work with the family itself. We try to empower the family. For example, if the child has an older brother or sister, we involve her in a program that aims to...
you target
yeah,
everyone.
Exactly. Yeah.
Unfortunately, Mona Hussein, we've run out of time. The communication specialist. Thank you so much. And Nashwa Habib, the gender and equality advisor. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, now it's time to say goodbye and have a good day. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.